7 First Alert weather. This is 7 Eyewitness News.
Hey everyone, good morning to you. It's just about 6 o'clock on your Friday morning. Thanks for being with us here on 7 Eyewitness News. Take a deep breath. You have made it to the end of the week.
You had a 4-day week.
I know, and those 4 days felt so long. I can't even begin to get started.
It felt like a full 7
exactly
out of this 5, and the weather is responsible for it.
The good thing, though, is that as we head into the weekend, things are changing.
Yeah, changing for the good.
Exactly.
We're actually going to get above 32. That's a stat that doesn't sound that great, but it means a lot.
Considering what we've had, it's anything better than that.
Sub-zero wind chills, all of that in the rearview mirror. Let's start off this morning. You can see while the cold pool of air, those certainly aren't warm colors. They're better than what we've had, and they're going to continue to increase. Let's look outside right now. These are the numbers around western New York. 27, already 130 on the map, and it's just 6 o'clock this morning. These sections of the southern tier, we're going to bring you along for the ride today. It's the breezes that are going to start to carry the warmth up into western New York, and we'll get a little bit of sunshine involved as well. Let's roll the day from 9 to noon. We'll increase the temperatures slowly. Once we get to 33, that's about as far as we get. Maybe some of the north towns touching 35 on your car thermometer. The word breezy today. We're going to get the high end of the breezy, just about windy, with wind speeds around 20 miles an hour through the afternoon. But what you did see was some sunshine. Hey, the wind chill index. We've been between numbing and thermals for a bunch of days. Today, just bundle up. That's all you got to do to survive this one. Here's a preview of the 7-day. The weekend warm-up continues as we get close to 40. By the time we finish the weekend, we'll be melting snow, and that means the potential for ice jams. I'll let you know which day may be the trickiest on area creeks.
Andy, thank you. 7 Eyewitness News is everywhere, tracking breaking news this morning in the city of Buffalo. This happened just before 5 o'clock this morning on Main Street and Willow Lawn. One car crashed here, but 2 people were inside, and they had to be cut out by firefighters. You see the airbags deployed here. Both of those men were taken to the hospital. Our producers are still trying to develop some new information in the newsroom, making phone calls. We'll bring it to you as soon as we get it. 6:02 on a Friday. This is a story you'll see only on 7 Eyewitness News. People living in a Buffalo Municipal Housing Authority building housing seniors have been without heat and hot water for weeks. Buffalo City councilors now getting involved in this one. The BMHA and Shinda Management both own parts of the complex. City council members are now pushing Shinda to fix the problem, but Shinda's corporate office says they don't own the property. Neighbors just say they are fed up, period.
I'm in my home and I pay rent to be comfortable. And my rent is paid and I'm never late with my rent. So why should I have to live uncomfortable?
While they might be uncomfortable for a little while longer, Shinda says they're supposed to fix the heating systems this summer. But this isn't the only problem in BMHA buildings. Last week we reported on this: unsafe conditions and filth at the complex on Perry Street. The BMHA took disciplinary action against a worker and made immediate repairs after we got involved. 7 Eyewitness News, of course, staying on top of this story, trying to get action for both of these tenants. 6:03, we have an update now to a story you saw first here on 7 Eyewitness News. A family in North Tonawanda is still asking for a thief to come forward after their phone with precious memories, precious pictures of their dying daughter was stolen. This all happened while they were at the hospital with their daughter, Diana. Since we brought you this story on Monday, there's been an outpouring of support from the community. Now, the owner of Dwyer's Pub in North Tonawanda is stepping up. He's offering a cash reward for the stolen phone to be returned, no questions asked. The family's daughter was born on New Year's Day with a neurological disorder, and doctors at this point are saying she doesn't have much more time left to live. Her parents say the pictures on the phone were priceless.
I couldn't imagine being in the position that they're in, with a sick child, and to have irreplaceable memories taken from you. If this helps and if we can get the phone back, that's what matters.
The phone was last seen in the Ronald McDonald Lounge at the new Oishei Children's Hospital in Buffalo. All new this morning, the state of New York now says a data breach has impacted several elementary schools, including St. Amelia's School here in the Queen City. In total, about 52 students across 5 schools had their personal information exposed in this breach. That information includes student names, grade levels, and teacher names, but it did not include addresses, social security numbers, disability status, or test scores. Education officials say it affected students who took tests through vendor Questar last spring. The company says it doesn't know who accessed this data or why. Developing this morning, a Rochester area doctor is now facing up to 20 years in prison. Prosecutors say he had thousands of pictures of child porn in his house. Police raided Dr. David Blaszczak's house yesterday and seized several devices that had these pictures on them. Attorneys say he actually purchased this child porn from a fee-based website. 6:05 this morning, we're learning a Niagara Falls woman sentenced to 10 years in prison has died in prison. According to the Niagara Gazette, 40-year-old Erica Cooper died on Monday. Right now, her cause of death and what led up to it is unclear. Cooper was sentenced in 2016 after a violent home invasion in Niagara Falls' LaSalle neighborhood. A 74-year-old Jamestown man is dead this morning after fire ripped through his home yesterday. Jamestown police say crews found Patrick Riley inside the burning home. He was taken to an area hospital where he later died. Investigators are still trying to figure out what exactly caused this fire. The Buffalo City Mission is ahead of the game this year thanks to the generosity of Western New Yorkers. The City Mission revealed it exceeded its fall campaign goals. Donors raised nearly $2.4 million over the last several months. Leaders say that money will go a long way.
New York community.
Whether it be that meal or whether it be that conversation that they have with a case manager to help them get it connected with a potential job or job training or housing or mental health care or addiction recovery care. That's what we do here.
The Buffalo City Mission now says it's also looking into plans for a new facility. The money raised in the fall campaign will continue being used, though, at its current facility. Okay, 6:06, you have to pay attention to this next story. Imagine being able to get from Buffalo to Toronto in about 10 minutes or so. What about traveling to New York City in about a half hour? It sounds out of this world, but it may soon be a reality. It could be made possible with what's being called the Hyperloop. It's an underground pod using magnets and electronic propulsion to shoot travelers through a pressurized tube. You'd travel at about 700 miles an hour, which is faster than an airplane. Hyperloop has not set down any tracks yet, but a route from Toronto to Montreal was in fact chosen as one of the 10 best potential locations in the world. If that track is made, the company says the next logical step would be here in Buffalo.
If you could get to New York in less than an hour by just hopping on one of these, why wouldn't you go there for dinner? Hey, let's go right now. We'll head over for dinner and a show, and we can come back tonight. And that would really boost tourism, and you'd see a lot more people traveling.
Yeah, and there would be a lot of people here in Buffalo boosting tourism here as well. Hyperloop is looking to have several commercial tracks solidified by 2021. 6:07 right now, your commute is probably still on the roads, though, and this time of year is when we see potholes everywhere. But you need to do your part in keeping the roads safe. Public Works crews in Erie County are reminding drivers to report any nasty potholes by calling the Pothole Hotline. We've got that number for you, along with 2 different emails to report these potholes on WKBW.com. Let's take you to Washington this morning. The countdown is on before the government shutdown. It's down to the Senate now to pass a bill, but as of right now, it's not a sure bet. Late last night, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said Democrats would support a very short-term funding bill only so they could come up with a longer-term deal, which includes a DACA fix. Both sides here blame each other, and Schumer says a lot of the blame goes straight to the White House.
The one thing standing in our way is the unrelenting flow of chaos from the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue. It has reduced the Republicans to shambles. We barely know who to negotiate with.
The House, meantime, passed a temporary funding bill yesterday. 6:09, a lot of us showed support for small businesses this holiday season, but if you ordered these pup socks, you might still be waiting. We're looking into why, so you don't waste your money. Twilan?
Some animals are up and enjoying the snow. We'll tell you how you can enjoy the Buffalo Zoo during Western New York's winter for a low, low price.
Also ahead, no one wants to think about the worst case scenario, but if we do, would you be prepared? New information this morning might have you saving more starting today.
And we're about to say Auf Wiedersehen to all of the Arctic air and hello to a weekend warm-up. Take a look at these temperatures. We'll start you off with your 7 First Alert forecast after this short break.